What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Movies and Beyond. Once again, I am Michael, and today I want to do a spoiler-free review of Godzilla Minus One. And if you've seen my previous videos, you know how excited I was about this one. And in short, I'm going to tell you that it did not disappoint. There were a lot of things that I really liked about this movie and that they did really well. And like I said, I don't want to give any spoilers, so I'm not going to go through what the story was about or what happened in the movie, because this movie's pretty much coming out today and I don't want to ruin it for anyone watching this. So, with that being said, let's talk about the characters that we had in this movie. One thing when you see a Godzilla movie, you are not used to having a story with the characters that really rivals Godzilla stepping on stuff, right? So a lot of people go to these movies, I just want to see Godzilla run through, tear some stuff up, maybe fight another monster or whatever. This movie did a fantastic job of getting me to invest in the characters in this movie. It takes place, just after the war ended in the 40s, and they do a great job of building that connection between you and the characters. So when Godzilla does do his Godzilla stuff, you actually care about what is happening with these characters. Now, you can look at all the other Godzilla movies, and believe me, there are some good ones, and I'm not saying that there's not. It's just the investment in the characters outside of Godzilla, I've never really had a huge connection to. With this one, as the story's being told, it builds that connection. It builds that story. It gives you that feeling of caring about what happens to the other people in the movie besides Godzilla. Now, this is not your typical Godzilla movie. Godzilla is not the hero. Godzilla is not there to save us or save the people in the story from anything. He is there to wreak havoc, and that's exactly what he does. I know this movie had a $15 million budget, and I think that it was absolutely amazing what they did with that $15 million. You look at a lot of our big budget movies here that we have in the US, and you're spending $100 million here, $150 million here to make the things that they accomplished with such a small budget. And that speaks volumes for the team that made this movie. I think it was absolutely fantastic. Now, there were a few scenes in the movie that looked a little stiff and looked a little robotic, but I mean, they didn't take me away from the movie so much to where I was like, oh God, look at this. When Godzilla was walking, it looked really stiff. Like, it looked almost robotic in some instances, but it was something I was able to dismiss, and it didn't really take me out of the movie. I think another one of the problems that people may have, and this didn't bother me whatsoever because I'm used to watching films where I read subtitles. And I think that some viewers may be distracted by that because this movie is all in subtitles here in the US, and you do have to read the movie. And like I said, to me, that doesn't take me out of the movie. It doesn't bother me at all. And I think some people may have an issue with that. And if you don't, I think that you're absolutely going to love this movie. The characters, for one, going back to what I was saying before about investing in the characters and investing in the story, and the way that the story progressed made me feel for these characters. I will say this about this movie. This movie is very lean. There's not a lot of fat in this movie. And when I say that, I'm meaning there's not a lot of throwaway scenes that you have in this movie that you really don't need to expand that runtime. They don't do that in this movie. Every scene in this movie has a place in this movie, and it progresses the story forward. And that's something that I loved so much about this movie. On to Godzilla himself. Man, they did fantastic. Other than the little things I was talking about a little earlier with him looking stiff and stuff, there were many more scenes where he just looked badass. Godzilla was badass in this movie. There was zero good about Godzilla. He was there for one reason, and that was to destroy things. It really had that feel of an old school Godzilla movie. It felt like Godzilla felt when I was a kid watching it, and it put a huge smile on my face. I could go on and on and on about how this movie made me feel and all of that stuff, but at the end of the day, it was worth my money to go buy the ticket. It was worth the previous videos that I did talking about this movie. I really couldn't be happier with the way this came out. I will definitely be sure to wait until next week before I dive into this movie and dive into the story and have some spoilers, because I want to give people time to go see this movie so we can talk about it together in the comment section. I'll definitely be looking forward to doing this. If I had to rate this movie, I'm giving it 4.5 out of 5 stars. And I'm not just saying that because it's a Godzilla movie and it's like, okay, well, it did this well, this. No. Like I said, I was just as invested in the characters as I was in Godzilla. Again, phenomenal job with that. Phenomenal job with the story. And I cannot wait to hear what you guys think. So next week, I'll put together a video with spoilers and we'll dive into the whole entire story. Let me know what you think in the comments. Have you seen Godzilla Minus One? If you did, what did you think? If you like this video, don't forget to hit that like button for me. It helps out the channel. And if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well. And as always, I will see you next time. Peace.
Toodaloo, motherfucker. Hey.